Bro, what the hell is that? Is that a fucking mountain lion in the background, or Jesus Christ, this is music.
Probably noticed this one's pre-recorded, but we are going to try and do lives when we can.
So what are you afraid of, huh?
Involved, so,
what are you afraid of? To be honest, I can't understand being afraid of Honor fans that all suck ass.
In Season 3, we're going to encounter yokai, kappa, other Japanese mythology.
Is he the lore writer now? Is the game writer doing the game balance now? And Stefan is doing the lore. But he's associate director now. Goddamn.
So it's definitely not the flower you would give to a person you like, right?
I don't know, Walt.
Maybe.
I'm not impressed.
Yeah. Sure. So, battle outfit was inspired by...
It's like the middest mid I've ever seen.
Video. So, these mood effects was inspired by possession.
So
here you can see two masks.
I don't know, man. They don't look that cool.
Nice.
So this battle outfit was inspired by disco because demons likes to party too, I guess.
What? Demonic disco, bro. For Honor devs, I've kind of run out of ideas, huh? If I see anybody running demonic disco, bro, I'm going to report you immediately.
So the execution, yeah, you can just use this. Make your
Holy shit, hand signs. That's actually fucking hilarious. That's pretty good, man.
Very terrifying.
It's not a bad signature, I'd say. I wonder if people will actually use that now.
In the game that have them, some that don't.
All the dodge attacks.
So, JC,
everybody turns to Tiandi, baby.
So, like we've previously announced when we came back from, I think, the last testing grounds.
Like, not just the dodge attack, but also the voice lines.
So
Everybody gets Tiandi voice lines. That would be my dream game.
That show you what the dodge attacks actually look like.
Oh, but
so,
that is Nushta's dodge attack. There's Nushta's dodge attack as well. Wait, no, that's Warden stab.
They're all done 300 MS.
They all have the same fucking animation?
Highlanders with heavy made a bit
Oh,
more sense
that's
for
pretty
Highlander,
cool.
considering
That's
a
actually good
bit better
looking.
in defensive stance. For Highlander, they're also only programmable while you're in defensive stance. In offensive stance, you have like
this dodge attack also looks good.
When you're dodging, so you're okay. And
I don't care what you say, dude.
That's important to note is
Highlander's dodge attack
they
looks
also
fine.
all have iframes, so that's really good. For all of these heroes, especially everybody but Highlander, you'll notice that they don't have like.
By the way, Centurion's dodge attack, no external hitbox, so it's gonna suck ass. I'm disappointed.
At dealing with bashes specifically, but not necessarily be really good dodge attacks in the sense of I'm gonna be target swapping them and doing all those crazy things that some heroes are known for. This is literally just to make sure that these heroes are able to efficiently deal with bashes. Even though Blackfire could from neutral,
they're only 14 damage, bro.
Really go into bulwarks.
14 damage to dodge heavies.
We really want them to be good, but not be.
That's really good.
So that they're a little bit riskier to use.
But at the same time, they don't have external hitboxes, so they also suck ass.
Awesome. Very excited to be bringing dodge attacks, especially for like Centurion and like Highlander. I've seen a lot of people talking about those many Reddit threads that I have seen. So So let's move on to hero fight improvements. JC, what do we have here?
Yeah, so we're doing a lot of changes to a lot of heroes this time. It's I would say 99% buffs. We really wanted to focus on raising some heroes, getting them to be a bit more meta. Not necessarily be like must picks or whatever, but really focusing a lot on like some quality of life stuff, making sure they're more playable and raising up the bar a little bit.
Wait,
so
what?
First we have zone attack cost. Right?
See a lot of numbers here.
Yeah,
Warlord, Berserker, Kensei,
Zhanhu. I'm not
Zhanhu.
Basically, all of these heroes have lower stamina cost for the zone attacks. If your hero is not listed, don't worry, we didn't forget about them.
Gryphon, Kyoshin, Gryphon, and Kyoshin!
But that's kind of we want to lower the cost for all of these on attack to make sure that they're not,
on paper it's a nice change.
Stamina every time you use them, right? So this is a big buff. Some characters for like Warden, for Zhanhu, those are very big buffs. For some other heroes, it's still a bit less, but it's still like it's a bit better. And we didn't go with a.
If I catch you dodging with zhanhu,
we went to it like on a case by case.
I'm gonna jump.
So sometimes it's better that they're 30 because they're faster. They have properties. At 20 because they can be
Kensei zone.
For multi zones as well. We did a lot of changes there to make sure that we're in a good spot.
Warlord. If Warlord catches you dodging, bro.
Beautiful.
Bro,
lots of numbers.
Free engagement for Kyoshin, by the way.
big changes
20
for
damage
for
zone.
heroes that we also want to go through.
Yeah, so for Warden, Warlord, Berserker, Orochi, and Hitokiri, we have like very small quality of life things, but still very useful.
Okay, nice one.
So Warden's chain lights are now 500 ms, down from 6. That was a no-brainer. Like we should have done that a while ago, so it's good that we have them now. Warlord has a bit of
Berserker HP buff. Okay.
That's the heavy
I guess
attack
so.
that you
Why
do
not?
when you're in full block stance. It'll help you catch people that are dodging. Step forward a little bit more. You can't really just backwalk it anymore. So that should be quite good there. Berserker has 10 more HP. Should help reinforce.
Orochi's scientific finisher change is weird, honestly.
And make him a little bit less squishy. So that should be good. Orochi's scientific finishers are now 700 ms.
Hitokiri charged heavy attacks now cost 12
The idea here is that we want players to actually use Orochi's scientific finishers in group fights. They already have huge trajectories. They're very good. But at 800 ms, they were a little bit too slow. So at 7, we're hoping that they're going to be a little more useful.
It's gonna be extremely annoying, by the way.
Because they are 7,
Orochi.
Incredibly annoying. Should be able to catch a bit more things. So I'm really looking forward to see how that pans out for
Like
that one.
non-stop block stun
finally,
from Orochi.
His charge heavy attacks now cost 12 stamina.
Bro,
Used to
what?
cost 25. Before the CCU, those attacks specifically did not have an additional stamina cost when they were parried. That's why they used to cost 25. Now that all those things are removed, we've decided to like revert that change back, and now they cost 12. Gives a bit more stamina economy for Hitokiri. Should be really good for this year.
You can now like absolutely
coming with this, but now we
spam
have even
indicators
more,
with
even more
Hitokiri or
deep
what
dive,
the fuck's
more
going on?
granular,
Lamar,
just
this is so weird.
details. We're starting with
Always
Peacekeeper.
more. Yeah,
More!
Our real Peacekeeper does recovery cancel. It's finally nice.
We've
Hell
adjusted
yeah.
a couple of things. The direct cancel. You can now cancel the recovery into a dodge from 200 to 300 ms. It used to be static at 333. So this should help Peacekeeper actually do more direct cancels and be able to dodge out of it, give her a bit more safety in group fights. And then we have, they're a little bit like, it might be a bit hard to understand right now, but basically what we've been doing for dashing thrust and the throws together is that we adjusted the time that you can perform a dashing thrust when you're doing a front dodge. So it's from 3 to 5, and it used to be static at from 2 to 5.
That is
it used to be static at
absolutely
3.
whatever.
And throws have a little bit less recovery. The intent here is that you should be able, with a Peacekeeper, to throw somebody, get them to wall splat, and then do a dodge for the heavy every single time without having to worry too much about positioning, timing, and all that sort of stuff. So it should
I mean,
be
I
a lot
guess
more
now that the
consistent
guard
combat.
break is nerfed, that's necessary.
Then we have the only nerf in the entire patch, which is the stats after a guard break for Peacekeeper. They used to deal 38, which was way too high. So we've adjusted the bleed damage, a bit of how it works there, and it now deals 20.
Nah.
It's still above the curve because you're spending more stamina. You get all that stuff. You get a little bit more stuff there. But at the end of the day, like it's a lot more in line with the rest of the cast. We've also increased our forward movement on every single one of our.
No, that is good. That is
You
big.
used to be able to backwalk her a little bit, and it was like she had a hard time sometimes reaching you. So with these changes, it should be a lot easier for her to really keep the pressure and stay in. We've also updated the trajectory for the zone attacks for the first strike, so
Okay.
it matches the weapon a lot better.
This man.
The trajectory is a bit bigger. It's not like it's less angled.
All of this.
And finally, this one's a big one.
The only
For
reason
crossbow feats,
Peacekeeper
your
stayed
feats,
afloat was because of the insane
it
guard
had
break
a pretty
damage.
short cooldown, and it
With
used to deal
this,
25 damage.
Peacekeeper is
Which
going
was-
to
which
drop
is-
a
was
few
still good,
tiers,
but now
and
what we've changed it
she's
to do
still
is it
going
deals
to be
15
very
direct
bad in
damage
4v4.
and 10
Even
damage
worse,
over
actually, in
10 seconds.
4v4, I
So still
think.
deals 25,
Yeah.
but that bleed damage there is super important. It really lets her open up her kit, be able to get those unblockables in, get the synergy with other bleed
Isn't
heroes,
crossbow like a
and it's
fucking
lot easier
tier
to land
3
that. You
feat
can
or
go, like,
something?
externally, 'cause that's a lot of complaint that players
Or
have had,
tier 2
that
feat.
externally, Peacekeeper couldn't really do anything. Now when she has her feat 3, you can actually start to apply a lot more
Feat
pressure.
3, bro. Okay, great.
Looking forward
I'll
to
do
playing
that when I
Peacekeeper,
have a
but
fucking tier
what do we
3
have
feat,
Lawboy?
bro.
What are we doing at Lawboy, JC?
That was
Right?
so.
Doesn't have a
These
ton of changes.
Peacekeeper changes are
We've done a big
stupid.
pass of
I'm sorry.
adjusting the forward movement on his side attacks, his side heavy attacks. We've
Okay, for
updated the
Lawbringer, that's big.
trajectories for the side heavies. They should no longer like just phase through some external opponents. That should work much better. And we've also like did a little bit of a pass on the input comfort for the parry follow-ups. So you can now perform them like 66 ms before, and because of that, we've also had.
I'm already looking at the last point on the list.
The kind of the impale that we have after a parry. So that it would still fit. Basically, those are just two changes.
The Lawbringer, the competitive dudes playing Lawbringers.
Beautiful.
Bro, his parry punish got left so hard. And he just got forward movement and hitboxes. Yeah, I don't know if I like that.
You could before just always, every time you saw unblockable, just roll away and deal with everything. So we've done a couple of changes. The chaining timing for chain lights into top heavy is now 100 ms.
Nice.
The attack itself has been sped up to 1100 ms and now suffers instead of fast guard break. And there's also increase for movement on top heavy finisher. This means that now if your opponents used to roll on reaction to throwing that type of finisher, you can now just hit guard break, catch them with the fast guard break.
Okay, this is very good for Kensei actually.
And makes that top heavy finisher much better.
This might make Kensei very good. These changes.
I don't really play a ton of Kensei, so I may have to.
Very viable might be.
Yeah, it's an interesting difference there. Yeah.
Very interesting changes for Kensei.
Well, I see a lot here for Nobushi.
Yeah, right. So for Nobushi, it looks like a lot, but it's not. You'll see it's relatively simple. We've updated the trajectories for all of your side heavy openers and finishers. Again, they didn't really match the weapon swings, so with this you'll be able to hit people better externally. So that works. Side Cobra Strike, which are side dodge lights, they're now 533 ms. They used to be 6, and they now have iframes. So they're actual good dodge attacks now. They're not you don't
actual
need to,
dodge attack, actual trajectories for Nobushi.
Dodging or whatever. Now they're always going to be able to have iframes. You're going to be able to do good with them. So that's very good. Their side dodge heavies are also very good, but those
better recoveries.
Because we want to have a version of it that was this is the dodge attack thing, and this one is the more like zone type of thing. So that's going to be a little bit different there. Front Cobra Strike is now 500 ms instead of 6, and you can do it from 2 to 500 ms in the front dodge. It used to be stuck at 300 there, and it was 600. So with this, like, it also gives that
a little
bit of a better
interesting changes, but
it lets you really delay it and have like.
Nobushi still barely has any use.
We've also updated all of our recovery timings, a bunch of them on all those listed attacks. I won't go into them, but we just wanted to normalize her recoveries because some of them were like extremely long. So when you would miss, or even if you would hit,
but you can more consistently land bleeds on guard break attempts with this. That is interesting, I'd say.
A bit of quality of life thing there. And finally,
that's the most interesting thing about this, and maybe team fights potential with side heavies.
So now being left means that she can actually throw it in the lane, be able to catch more enemies, more minions and stuff, and makes her like a bit better overall in the minion lanes. That should be a nice improvement.
But overall, I don't not worth mentioning changes, to be honest.
Always more, right?
There's always more.
Centurion. So we've increased the forward movement for the charge heavy openers, basically because Centurion didn't have a lot of reach, and so the pressure that the character could deal from externally was like not that good, honestly. On top of that, that's a really good pin. So you get your opponent, you pin them for a long time, you get a guaranteed ally heavy. Works super well, so that's good. So with that bit of extra forward movement, you can actually get into that groove a little bit better. And we've also changed the charge punch. So we give it the Warden treatment, right? Which means that whenever you do a charge punch, if you fully charge it and your opponent did an early dodge attack, you should now pretty much always catch them, kind of like what Warden does. It was a bit of a problem now where you could like
don't they work the same already?
Fully avoid it. So
I see Wardens miss that shit all the time against Orochis.
Better tracking, it's faster. Actually, it's faster, and then there's like the stance, the armor kicks in a bit earlier as well to make sure you get into a good situation.
Oh, so the armor kicks in earlier, okay.
And then up next we have
I thought it was later. But overall, like these changes, I don't think they matter much for Centurion.
Sucker punches now cost 12 stamina. They used to cost 24, I think, which was like an insane number. On top of that, because they cost so much stamina and they don't guarantee direct damage afterwards, we thought like it really was time for Gladiator to have like a better side dodge.
I mean, sure, whatever.
And we also increased the input window for counter jab, which is basically after you parry and you hit guard break. We increased the window by 400 milliseconds. It's huge. It makes a big difference here.
These are mostly quality of life changes, and they don't matter much, honestly.
To hit the button, so that should feel much better here for Gladiator.
Ooh, my favorite carnivore.
Yeah, Shaman, right? So Shaman has a couple of changes. Her heavy finishers have a bit more forward movement. Again, one of those heroes that like was a bit lacking there. So target swapping or even against the same target.
But the forward
sometimes
movement
you can
changes
back
are
off, it was a bit
very
hard
good
to
for
really catch up to
characters.
opponents. So this, it should be like it should feel better at least. It's not a massive increase, right? But it still makes it a bit of a difference.
The left heavy finisher,
The left
speed
heavy
increase,
finisher is now
goddamn,
900
okay.
MS. It used to be, I think, 1,000 or 1,100, I'm not sure. But you used to be able to, on reaction, see unblockable, and then your opponent would just
And
hit
better
light
bash mix
and
up,
beat you out of it every single
economy.
time. Now, at 900, if your opponent mashes light after you perform the light, so Shaman does light into left heavy finisher, and your opponent mashes light in between, you're gonna trade.
Can
with
actually
Shaman.
do more
Means that
than one
Shaman's gonna
bash
win the
and
trade
not
because she
instantly
deals a
go
lot
out
more
of
damage
stamina.
with heavy finisher than a neutral light. But still, it's something that we're trying out here where it's still interruptible, but at the same time,
So Shaman
it's a trade
mains
where
can be
Shaman wins.
happy.
So we want to see where that goes.
Very
that
happy.
aspect. We've also lowered Predator's Hunger's stamina cost to 12. So that makes it, like, again, it helps with the stamina economy. And we've also removed the stamina penalty when you're switching from Wildcat's Rage, which was dodge forward bash. Actually, no, that's dodge forward heavy, and Predator's Mercy and Hunger, which are dodge forward bash, right? So the idea here is that dodge forward or dodge back is that you could do like dodge forward heavy and then tap guard break while that was going. She stops, puts her weapons away, and then keeps going forward. So you could switch between the two kind of different attacks. But when doing that, it would actually cost you stamina. And so because you've already paid the stamina upfront once, we felt like that wasn't really necessary anymore. So we've decided to remove it. Gives her, again, better stamina economy. So
Yeah, absolutely.
You should be more free to be able to use that little bit
It's
of a
the
mix
crazy
there
shit
more.
everybody can do nowadays. It's not necessary at all, is it?
All right. Black Prior, right? So we've increased Tenebrous Trust for movement. So that does for it heavy. We really wanted to be able to catch more people.
I don't like that, to be honest. I want to run away from Black Prior always.
Roll catching tool or whatever, but at least with that bit of increased movement,
I don't want to deal with this
you should be able
fucking
to catch
stupid
people
ass
from way
bash.
further away, so that should help. His sprint attack is now 700 MS. Used to be much slower, dealt a lot more damage, but because of the speed it had, it was completely
okay.
useless. Like, it's sad to say, but it really wasn't good. So at that speed now, with that damage, it's a
What
lot more
the
in line
fuck
with what other sprint attacks are.
are you
That should work quite
doing?
well.
Bulwark
And
Slash
finally,
should not have
Bulwark
100
Slash,
milliseconds.
We've lowered its guard break vulnerability.
That is
to
actually
100
disgusting.
right? So that's gonna be similar to like Kyoshin and some other heroes that can
No,
attack out of
it
the
is.
ground stance.
It is absolutely
And the
not
big
similar.
fear
It's
is
a
that
fucking heavy
beforehand,
attack.
If you're against a Black
Which
Prior
is
and you
like
went to
28
down stance,
damage.
You had a guaranteed guard break every single time.
That is going to be so fucking
because
annoying. I disagree with this
reacting to that
100%.
down stance,
You can actually
Black Prior
guard
doesn't
break
have anything
Shinobi,
to actually beat that
Kyoshin's
guard break. So now Black
top
Prior does
unblockable.
down and then heavy right away.
Because
if
it
you
actually
try to
has
guard break, you're gonna
vulnerability.
Get hit by that heavy unblockable, so it gives Black Prior a little bit more safety here. Lets him use that attack a little bit more often.
Fucking
and makes him a little bit less
Kyoshin's
vulnerable as well.
zone options and light options out of his stance do 20 damage. Black Prior is going to do 28 damage.
Warmonger, right?
That is so
Warmonger,
fucking annoying, bro.
The War Mommy, yeah.
I
So,
disagree with that a lot. That
finishers
is
now gain
that
uninterrupted
sounds
stance,
super
armor,
fucking
critical.
annoying. Every time you
At
try to
100
guard
MS,
break him, he might
this
just
is
slash you with
much
28
later.
damage.
This is
That
to be like a lot
sucks
more in line
super
with
ass.
other heroes
I'm
we've been
sorry.
doing that have that type of armor in their finishers. Should let
That's
her trade
nice.
with dodge attacks a lot better. Give her a
Why
lot
the
more
fuck
safety
does
in
deal
fights, let her land those heavies. Very
Bleed
good.
damage.
And then we've done
No.
changes to Praying Claw. So Praying Claw used to be just a regular bash, didn't really do anything.
Huh?
Slashes you with her claws. So what we've done is that Praying Claw
What?
itself now deals 8 bleed damage up front, but to compensate, we've lowered the damage of the stab and the slash, so light and heavy follow-ups, by 8, so that you still deal the same amount of damage when you're doing those follow-ups, but at least you're gonna get a little bit of bleed off of the claw itself. Helps you synergize with like the bleed heroes, so like Nobushi, Shaman, Peacekeeper.
Is
all that sort of stuff.
Praying
So
Claw
we're hoping, you know, give
slash
her a little bit more utility, maybe create some new team
the
comps,
full
and at the
one?
same time make the hero just better in general.
Does she deal like 48 damage now? I don't understand this
Nice.
change
And
at
then
all,
we
to be
save the
honest.
best for last. Of
But it's good for
course.
4v4 bleed, I
Gryphon,
suppose.
Daddy.
Hopefully she does
right,
do
so
48
Gryphon,
fucking damage
again,
with her charge
Darren's
bash
version,
now.
which is
What the hell?
The heavy finishers, they gain uninterrupted stance at 100 MS, down from 5.
Oh,
again,
nice Gryphon
if you want to be able
changes.
to trade better, you have more safety in group fights.
Oh,
so
nice,
that
nice
works quite well.
safety change. I
And
love
we've also done
that.
some
That
things
was
to Might
necessary.
Fever, which is side dodge heavies. So the miss recoveries are a little bit faster, and you now gain defense at 500 MS, so it makes them a lot safer, right? Whenever you do that,
Thanks, man. Nice changes for
like,
Gryphon.
you would be left wide open.
What the
for a
fuck did they
super
just
long
do to
period of time. So
Warmonger?
now target swapping those attacks in group fights should work way better. Should have more effectiveness. So that's kind of the idea here for Gryphon. So that's pretty much it.
Gryphon.
Yeah, I believe so.
Gryphon having
that was
Gryphon.
a lot that we covered. And like, you know, if you want to go back and read some other things, or if there's anything that you missed, you can always go ahead and read the patch notes over on our website. And we'll make sure we have everything there listed and everything all nice and tidy for you. But JC, how you feeling?
Oh, right, okay, I see what they did to Warmonger.
There's one more thing I'd like to announce really quickly.
So the slash is 8.
We're aware that a lot
It's
of
20.
players
The
are
follow-up
asking
deals
for
20
more
damage.
support, and I can confirm when it's coming in a testing ground. Not for this season, unfortunately, because we're taking our time with him. We want to make sure that we get to the right spot with the hero and present something that's going to make a lot more sense. So it'll be coming up, not in this season,
With
in
who?
the future. But we have not forgotten about you, Yorm players.
Yorm,
Not. We know a lot of players love the hero, love the fashion, love everything about the hero. It's super cool. We love him too. And sometimes, like, you know, things change, and we want to make sure that
They
we
love
get
him,
the right,
guys.
we want to find the right direction for the hero. So we're taking a little bit more
but-
time with it. But
I mean,
still,
that's
we're gonna
what I
get that
said,
right,
bro.
so it's super awesome.
They have
Alright,
to
so
take the
your
time with
rework is
Warmonger.
coming in
Yeah.
future.
It's a
We will
completely new
obviously
moveset
update whenever-
they have to
whenever-
make.
Whenever we are ready to talk about it. But you just talked a lot about patch notes.
Because
so
this
Grab
moveset
some water.
sucks
I'm gonna
ass.
grab Alex for the testing ground segment. So you
watching, don't go anywhere. I'm gonna be right back.
All right, thanks.
Warmonger changes though, interesting, man. Bleeds bash. That's gonna be mad for 4v4, isn't it?
Warriors, welcome back to the show. JC, how you doing? How you doing?
Pretty good, pretty good. Still, you know, hanging on, so it's all good.
Got your water, you hydrated, feeling good?
Yeah, got everything I need.
Awesome, awesome. Because we're about to be talking about testing grounds. So
Oh,
this
yeah.
is going to be a good one. So testing grounds will be launching with the launch of the Demon Dagger on September 15th, going all the way until September 22nd. So you've got a nice long week to go ahead and test out all of the changes. And JC, we're actually doing some pretty interesting changes. We're doing 2 reworks and then a combat change. So go ahead and walk us through it.
Yeah, so we're doing a rework for Valkyrie, a rework for Tiandi,
I knew it.
and also we're testing out some changes to counter guard break.
I
See how
fucking
that
knew
feels.
it.
I'm super hyped for it, so it should be really, really interesting.
Same here. So we've been doing something a little bit different with our testing ground segments on the Den. JC and Alex have created a video showcasing the reworks, going in depth with them, talking about them, and we're gonna go ahead and let that roll, and then we'll come back, give our final thoughts, and continue on with the show. So JC, you ready?
Yep.
I'm ready. Let's do it.
All right. Hello, everybody. So today we're going to be looking at
Valkyrie.
changes that are coming to the testing grounds. We're going to have Valkyrie changes, Tiandi changes, and counter guard break changes. So first up, we're going to start with Valkyrie. So Valkyrie is one of our
Murderer by
older
day,
heroes.
bodybuilder by night.
She doesn't have that much offense. A lot of her stuff can be dodged on one timing. Sweep doesn't really work. And so we're really trying to give her better openers, and also to give her better pressure and offense in general. And for that, we're going to start with Shield Crush and Shield Tackle.
So we decided to
we've
remove her
actually
from the
removed
game.
Shield Crush in this testing rounds and replaced it with Shield Tackle. And you can no longer do Shield Tackle from back dodge, right? So right now I just did back dodge and guard break.
What?
But you can now do it from front dodge instead.
So
So if you do heavy, you can soft feint into Shield Tackle. You can do zone, soft feint into Shield Tackle. Wait, it didn't work there. There we go. So everywhere where you can use Shield Crush, you can now use Shield Tackle instead. Shield Tackle also now guarantees a light when it lands. It still blocks attacks like before. So there we go. You can also now dodge out of it. So that gives you a little bit more defensive options.
So it's more
That's quite
similar to
interesting.
Shaolin now, I
And
guess.
what's also cool with it is that now
Nice.
we have a new kind of mix-up that we've never really had before, which is if your opponent thinks that you're going to Shield Tackle, they can just guard break and to try to beat your Shield Tackle attempt, right? There you go. So that works. But if I let my heavy go and they attempt a guard break, my heavy is going to land instead. So we're really trying to do something a little bit different here. That has more impact on Valkyrie, gives her a better reason to use shield tackle, and it's kind of like using maybe like a charge attack.
What happens if I dodge shield
so
tackle?
It's kind of interesting, and it really pushes a attack while you're defending and defend while you're attacking mindset that we really wanted to have for Valkyrie. That's super different. It feels really cool. I can't wait for people to try it out. And other thing to know is that, as usual, that light that you have here leads to sweep, leads to everything. Basically, it counts as a second hit in the chain. So using that, you can really go into your sweep a lot more often and have those mix-ups work quite well. So speaking of sweep, it is now 500 milliseconds instead of 6. Should make it a lot less reactable. Should work quite much better. It no longer unbalances allies or multiple opponents. So it only really unbalances the character you are locked onto. We made that change because we have to choose between one or the other. And
I don't know how she worked. Maybe as a ganker.
When you're using sweep was much more difficult.
As a team fighter so far, pretty bad. I think.
And then they couldn't get guaranteed damage on top of it, so that made a difference here. And last but not least, the sweep follow-up is now frame advantage, right? So now if I mash light and my opponent mashes light, see, as you see here, I was able to hit them almost on the way coming back up. They can still block, right? So if I go at top light here, it's still blockable. But I have frame advantage. So it lets Valkyrie really keep the offense up. Using sweep in 1v1 situations will really help you. And keeping that frame advantage really helps Valkyrie in this position. Then we have pouncing thrust and hunter strike.
What?
So pouncing thrust
do you not get a follow-up after
now,
sweep?
A lot more range. So that's quite good. And they're now all enhanced as well. So as you see here, like that's really like you're going to get interrupted on block. That's Valkyrie really go further into her chains.
You have to have the
sweep, really initiate a lot more. Her side dodge lights.
I don't understand at all what is happening.
Now have more forward movement as well. So they used to be quite bad. I didn't really hit forward much. She didn't really move a lot. So with this, you really have a lot more forward movement.
Okay. Forward movement.
They also have more
side movement.
So like this,
enhanced.
She moves more to the side.
But still only hits one person.
They also now have proper iframes. It's kind of hard to show here, but
iframes.
The idea is that with those iframes, let's go like this, yeah. It makes it a lot easier for you to be able to dodge and properly do dodge attacks with this in group fights and a lot of different situations, so it works quite well. Then we have something for attacks. So all of her heavy attacks have more forward movement now. It doesn't really show, but one of the big things that you
can just walk away, bro.
If you did a side light, a left light, into heavy
to show it, I mean.
It wouldn't work. You couldn't catch people.
Finally.
So now that those heavies have more forward movement,
after
reach forward a lot more.
After what, 4 years, 3 years of not being able to use a left heavy feint into guard break.
Both neutral, chained, and finishers to be able to hit external opponents much better. We've also slowed down the top light and chains and her finishers to 400 ms, right? So they used to be 4. So these used to be 400 ms, and the problem that we run into this is that at low level, 400 ms lights are really hard to work with. Already 500 are a little bit hard to react to for a lot of players, and we want players to at least have a chance to be able to block sometimes, right? But then when they're 400, it's a lot harder, and then at high level, the players are good enough that they're able to block top. And then if it's a side, they react and block the side. And if it's not a side, they just keep blocking top and they still block it. So that didn't work either. So with everything at 500, it incentivizes Valkyrie to do more heavies, do more into the shield tackle type of things, but still be able to use them and not be as frustrating at low level. Last but not least, in terms of attacks, we've also normalized recoveries of all of your chain attacks to be between 700 and 800 ms everywhere. It's a bit of a quality of life change, but it really helps Valkyrie be a little bit more safe in group fights and when outnumbered. We also have zone attack. So the trajectory for the first step for zone attack is now 500 ms instead of 6. So that makes a big difference. It makes it a lot more usable.
500.
And we've also updated the trajectories for both hits. Again, so they match the weapon better. You can hit more people externally and have a lot more control over fights with this. And finally, the last change we want to look at Valkyrie is Hunter's Rush, which is a sprint attack. So Valkyrie's sprint attack now initiates chains. So you can go Hunter's Rush into heavy, this, and so you can do all sorts of stuff with it. So it really helps her initiate when out of lock a lot better using her sprint attack to get into her chains and let her initiate. So that's it for Valkyrie. Next up, we're going to look at Tiandi.
I mean,
okay, so now let's look
I
at
need to see the
Tiandi,
recoveries of the
right?
bash
So
before I
Tiandi,
make any judgments
we
about
really want to
Valkyrie.
focus on the
I don't
dodge
know.
specialist aspect of the hero, as well as improving the hero's offense. Like Tiandi had like some limited dodge cancels here and there. It really didn't live up to the dodge specialist name. And on top of that, his offense was a little bit lacking. It was
a little
difficult
bit
to open up people and get into the groove and really have proper offense with the hero. So we're trying to.
Or you can feint a palm strike,
So first up,
follow
we
up
have
heavy
full, like,
into
water,
another palm
basically
strike. That's all the
recovery
offense you need.
So Tiandi can now recovery cancel every single attack into a dodge at 300 ms, right? So you can do light into a dodge. You can do heavy into another heavy into a dodge.
It's a little bit better than zhanhu, but it's not.
You can even do it off of like
Orochi
or dragon kick that we're going to look into a little bit later. So essentially, we really wanted to have Tiandi be able to really be a good specialist into having dodge cancels. They're a little bit slower than other dodge cancels. They're being at 3, Pirate and Orochi are at 2, and zhanhu is at 3. So we're really trying to like find a little different common ground for these, but this is really interesting. Works quite well and gives.
Does it work well?
Next up we have Palm Strike. So Palm Strike used to be on backwalk and guard break. We've actually now put it on front dodge guard break instead.
Actually,
The
looks decent.
That at low level, the back guard break attacks are a little bit problematic because they're really hard to react to at low level, but they're also fully reactable at high level, and so that makes them not very good. They're okay as interrupt tools, kinda, but not really. So we really wanted to have it to be in a much more standardized position. So from dodge guard break.
Really fucking annoying, I'll tell you that.
And the other cool thing with that is that because it's now in front dodge, you can do interesting mix-ups like dodge cancels your attack into palm strike, reset.
How fast is that a fucking like 100 ms activation bash like Conqueror Black Prior?
It might look
Jesus
like
Christ.
strange for some, but we really feel that having that off of that dodge really opens up Tiandi quite a bit. We've also removed the unique follow-up.
Oh my god, please.
When you do on live, when you do a palm strike, you used to have a heavy follow-up that was armored, top only. You could target swap, but it was a bit weird. And the problem with that move was that because it had like strange properties where it couldn't be parried. If the palm strike landed and you did that heavy against your opponent, the opponent that the palm strike landed on, that attack was unparryable. So that was kind of hard to read.
Oh really?
And the other real niche move that it had was that it could kind of trade with dodge attacks if somebody was doing a dodge attack against your palm strike, for example.
Hell yeah.
But because you now have access to both dodge cancels here, if you want to dodge attack somebody who dodged it, then you can do that. And you can also, if you still want that armor somewhere, you can dodge cancel a dodge for a heavy, which still has armor. So you can do palm, target swap, dodge for a heavy.
Depends on how fast the armor activates. Probably not gonna be useful.
So we really felt like that
Let's be honest.
specific attack was no longer necessary, as it forced Tiandi down a very specific path that we didn't want. And the last thing that we have with palm strike is that actually it now leads to heavy finishers that you can change your stances to as well. So you can do like a left heavy finisher, right heavy finisher, same for lights. So now you can actually do this and hit somebody on the side with a trajectory if you like. Whereas before that was completely impossible. So we really want to give like Tiandi a lot more.
Does he actually have trajectories now?
Probably, right? Be able to use those side heavy finishers, hit people externally, and get into that. So next up we have Dragon Kick, right? So Dragon Kick was a bit of a weird move in that, yeah, you could kind of ledge with it. You can like push somebody into a wall and maybe get a follow-up.
Do not nerf the distance.
Luckily,
don't do it.
Like land a kick on somebody, lands next to one of your allies, they get a heavy on him. But it's still, like in most situations, it was actually better for the defender to just get hit by the Dragon Kick or react to Tiandi rather, doing a soft feint dodge or whatever. So
please, we still need people to fly around by kicking.
Kick can now be feinted, so you can just straight up feint Dragon Kick and go for a guard break if you like to catch dodge attempts. And it also now has dedicated follow-up on heavy attack.
The
so every time you do land a Dragon Kick, you do get a heavy attack.
That looks so weird.
So now there's an actual incentive for your opponent to actually want to try to deal with it and do something instead of just taking it and just taking no damage or very low damage.
This is kind of like a better Centurion in a way.
Dragon Kick to be a much more threatening move for Tiandi. And then we now have side dragon dodges.
It's gonna be pretty crazy.
They used to be 1100 MS, so that's super slow. They couldn't, like, it was really difficult to really punish bashes and like faster attacks with side dragon dodges, side dodge heavies, for example. Because the problem that we started having is that because it's so slow, a lot of bashes could just miss. You would do that move, and then your opponent will be able to block in time almost every single time. With them being faster, they're now 800 MS, so they should be able to catch a lot more bashes when you dodge them at the right timing. But to do that, we also remove the extended dodge properties. Because it's faster, having extended dodge properties on that move is kind of crazy. You were able to like side dodge quite a bit. It was super strong. We've also lowered the side movement a little bit. It's still good, but it's a little bit less. But as Alex in front of me was graciously playing with me right now to show you the changes, showed you can still soft feint it right into a dodge.
Doesn't JJ have extended dodge properties on his dodge attack?
It's not like the move changed a little bit. You can still use it in a lot of situations, but it should now be actually useful at beating bashes. And like we've seen, you can do like really crazy shenanigans where you do side dodge heavy into a front dodge palm, into a lot of stuff. So again, this really opens up Tiandi.
I don't know what.
A lot of crazy, interesting shenanigans.
He needs to be able to move around the team fight.
So the last things we want to look at are quality of life changes on Tiandi. So first up is finishers on when you're out of lock are now side attacks. They used to be top, so you can do heavy there. So that should help Tiandi get a much better minion clear.
Zonus is minion clear though, bro. Come on.
Cancel torch of the stuff. You can now go and just mash heavies on the side and be able to get better lane clearing abilities. We've also improved the trajectories for the side heavy finishers. It's kind of hard to show right now, but they're way better at catching external opponents. Again, they match the weapon better as well, so it's a big improvement there for Tiandi. And we've also removed all the stamina damage and stamina pauses on all of his bashes. So on Palm, on Dragon Kick, there's no longer stamina damage or pause. We also removed the stun on Dragon Kick because it didn't really do anything.
Once again, I have to see the recoveries of these bashes.
A lot of like small changes for quality of life, and then the other changes which don't seem like much, but really help the character feel a lot like have much better flow, better offense.
Everybody's going to hate Tiandi, by the way.
Hopefully, the character is going to be much stronger in the future.
Because he can cancel his forward dodge bash.
Counter guard break changes. All right,
but
so
to be honest, not very quickly.
Changes, finally. So we've done a small change.
I'll have to see recoveries, but it's interesting.
Counter guard break, you now have frame advantage for 1 frame, right?
Yeah.
And, we also push opponents a little bit less hard. Like guard break Alex here. You can counter guard break.
Frame advantage.
So we're pushed a little bit less far,
That's
but also
very
the
nice.
person that did the counter guard break has frame advantage for 1 frame. That might not seem like a big change, but what it does do is that, let's say I'm going to guard break Alex, he's going to counter guard break, and then I'm going to mash guard break, and he's going to throw a heavy, and let's see what happens. See, so on live right now, so you saw that I did a guard break, I fully buffered it. My guard break bounced, and the heavy landed, right? So what
nice
this
change.
Does
Very
is
nice
that
change.
1 frame of frame advantage lets your opponent, lets the person that did the counter guard break, throw out anything but a light or a guard break. You can do like other options, but basically the idea is that like right now on live, whenever somebody guard breaks, if your opponent counter guard breaks, the only thing either player can do is throw a light, because guard break will catch anything else. It'll catch heavies, it'll catch dodges, it'll catch absolutely everything. And so it makes it that you end up becoming very predictable,
it doesn't
and guard
catch.
break becomes a very good tool to really stop offense here. Whereas now, when you manage to successfully counter guard break, you have more options. It doesn't mean that you don't get guaranteed damage or anything, but you have more options. It makes you less predictable, and so it doesn't make sure that you're always going to throw a light. That then you know it's a light, you can always parry it, and you get into that route where, especially at a high level, guard breaks were becoming a problem, and people would just like mash guard break all the time, and the only thing you could really do is either light or guard break, and it didn't quite work. So with this change, you can really land heavies afterwards. You can do a lot of different things.
Can just put this in the game right now.
Is that you can do, we'll show it with Alex right now. If I throw a guard break and he counter guard breaks, I'm gonna try to back roll, and you'll see that he can mash guard break to actually catch my back roll. So let's look at it this way. See, so I tried to back roll here, and his guard break caught me. So it means that
doesn't really matter
harder
though.
to also to defend yourself with a dodge, with different options, after your opponent counters your guard break. We did this so we want to have guard breaks still be useful in the game, right? They're still very good. They still guarantee heavies.
I guess maybe it does matter.
We want it to be that there is a little bit of risk associated to it, and
No,
the
I don't
person
know.
that actually successfully defended has a bit more of an advantage here. So that's going to be it for Testing Grounds. I really want to give a big shout out to Alex. Unfortunately, he can only be my body bag right now. So, but thank you very much.
That's crazy, man.
We had technical issues where he couldn't join the video with me and be on the audio call, but he graciously accepted to be there with me so we can record this session. So thank you, Alex, and we'll see you guys back into the Warriors then. Thank you.
And there we have it, JC. Thanks so,
Very
thank
nice
you so
changes,
much,
man.
Alex, for being able to go through that. Everything looks super
Got
awesome. Do you
him.
have like any final thoughts that you want to share before we move on?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm super excited for people to try this out. I know we're trying new things. With Valkyrie, that
where are
should
we
really
moving
interesting.
on to, though?
Garbage stuff too, and
Jesus
I'm
Christ,
really
man.
psyched for all this stuff. I just want to say again, I mentioned it in the video, but I want to reiterate it. A big thank you to Alex. Unfortunately, we had some technical issues. He couldn't be with me on video and with audio when we were recording, but he was still in front of me fighting, and we were like talking to each other at the same time. So that was all good. So thanks very much, Alex, and I look forward to getting everybody's feedback.
Oh yes, definitely. Feedback's gonna be a huge thing, part of the testing grounds, as it always is. We are gonna be putting together a survey for the testing grounds, so you know, once it's up, you see it on the Reddit. Definitely be sure to get your thoughts in throughout the testing grounds, not just in the beginning. We want to obviously see how your feedback progresses and stuff like that. So JC, Alex, thank you so much for going over the testing grounds. Super excited for everyone to try the changes out on September 15th. And you sitting in that chair or in the car or doing whatever, don't go anywhere, because up next we'll be back with Brian and two very special guests for a competitive update. So
Wow, a competitive update.
All right.
Is this the last segments? Okay, I guess that's it for me. Lamau. Okay, Warden. Nice. 10 out of 10. Peacekeeper. Oh, nice. 11 out of 10. Centurion. 8 out of 10. Is that fucking Gladiator? That's 10 out of 10. That's back prior? Oh. Okay. 10 out of 10. Warmonger. Yeah, it's 9 out of 10. Gryphon. 5 out of 10, bro. What the fuck is that? Lawbringer also like 5 out of 10, man. Conqueror is, yeah, that's a 10 out of 10, I think. Every edgy Conqueror wants to run that. Radar, that's a fucking 4 out of 10, man. Berserker, 6 out of 10. Highlander, I don't know, 7 out of 10. Shaman, 4 out of 10. Warmonger, 8 out of 10. Valkyrie, 8 out of 10. Warlord, 10 out of 10. I don't need to explain myself on that. I fucking can't say 3 out of 10, what the hell, man? Orochi, same, 3 out of 10. I mean, maybe I've been desensitized, but yeah, I mean, Shinobi, you cannot save Shinobi fashion. 2 out of 10. Aramusha, 3 out of 10. Hitokiri, what the hell? 3 out of 10, 4 out of 10. Kyoshin, 4 out of 10. Nobushi, 3 out of 10. What the hell? Shigoki, 3 out of 10. 2 out of 10, bro. What the fuck? Tiandi, nah, 4 out of 10. Just because of the thing that hangs from it. Yeah, Shaolin, 6 out of 10. Nusha, what the fuck? 2 out of 10. Jianjun, 3 out of 10. I mean, these are all the same, basically. Zhanhu, 2 out of 10, bro. Also, the music is fucking wilding, dude. Holy shit. Pirate, 4 out of 10. Magi, 3 out of 10. Like, as soon as they have, like, a canvas involved, or a shield or something, I think it's decent. And I maybe have rated the early ones too high, but these were quick ratings, so... Jesus Christ, them fucking music! Oh my god, I need to rate more. Highlander, 10 out of 10. Peacekeeper, 9 out of 10. Centurion, 7 out of 10. Gladiator, 8 out of 10. BP, 10 out of 10. Highlander, 10 out of 10. Wow, Gryphon, 9 out of 10. Lawbringer, 6 out of 10. Conqueror, 10 out of 10. Like every fucking weapon that has like a canvas, like a shield or something, it's like great, right? Radar, 8 out of 10. That's great, honestly. Oh, Berserker, 9 out of 10. I'm totally biased with this stuff, by the way, so don't even try. Like, this is actually Highlander, and this is a fucking 6 out of 10. Shaman. For Shaman, I think that's pretty good. 7 out of 10. Warmonger. Didn't we already have something like this? 9 out of 10. 8 out of 10. Valkyrie. 7 out of 10 to play in Warlord. Oh wow. Jesus. 10 out of 10. That sword though. Can't say 10 out of 10. Orochi, 10 out of 10. Never seen before blades. Shinobi, 7 out of 10. 6 out of 10 rather. Aramusha, 9 out of 10. Hitokiri, 10 out of 10. As usual. Kyoshin, 7 out of 10. Jianjun, this is a fucking 5 out of 10. And for Fat Boy, 9 out of 10. Oh, Tiandi, 9 out of 10. Shaolin, 8 out of 10. Nah, rather 10 out of 10. 9 out of 10. Nusha, 6 out of 10. Jiangjun, actually Jiangjun, 7 out of 10. Nodachi Man, 6 out of 10. That's 7 out of 10. Let's give it 7 out of 10. Pirate, that is a, I would say, 9 out of 10. Magi, it's 8 out of 10, I'd say. And that is objectively the truth.